So thanks a lot, Anna, for the introduction about the Building Smart UAE chapter. Please, especially people who are joining from social media or who have been connected directly through email and didn't register their interest, please go to the link of the buildingsmartuae.ae and register your interest. The second part of our webinar today is to give an overview about Dubai BIM Roadmap project. We already have presented the progress in this project during the last year in different conference events. So sorry if there are some information repeated for some of you, but I believe it makes sense at the end of the project to warm up all the progress of the project and do a overview for people who doesn't know this project. The Dubai BIM Roadmap project is a strategic project which already finished this month, and it aimed at developing a special BIM roadmap for adopting BIM and digital technology method in Dubai industry and to develop a BIM standard for building permit with focus on the building permit application and inspection and control in addition to developing a BIM e-submission platform with automated code compliance checking and BIM with GIS integration. The project main stakeholders are Dubai Municipality, and Tarakhis, and Dubai Development Authorities, who are the three biggest building permit authorities in Dubai. In general, the objective of this project are developing, as I said, a BIM roadmap with a time frame for 4 years to move from the current state to the future state of applying BIM and digital method in Dubai. Developing BIM unified standard based on open BIM like IFC, model view definition, BIM collaboration format, and aligned with the ISO 19650. Developing the BIM e-submission platform, as I said, with automated code competency checking and the integration between building model with GIS database, and also to be helping with developing BIM capacity and raising awareness about BIM in general. The output of this project is already completed. So the first output or delivery is the Dubai BIM roadmap. I will share at the end of the presentation a QR links and URL links to download almost all of the shareable output of the project. And the webinar also will be recorded and we will share with you the presentation. So I don't think you need to do shots or whatever. So the BIM roadmap, we will not go in details about it today, but in general, it is a kind of high-level strategic plan to move from the current state to the desired future state with gradual BIM adoption, and it contains like 5 pillars. These pillars, the first one is the leadership, government, and governance, and this is very important because in our case we are trying to make the public sector and government to lead the adoption of BIM and to put a strategic plan and to have a kind of BIM mandate and developing BIM standard gradually year after year to have updated and so on. The second pillar is developing unified framework, which is about having a kind of next, the BIM standard information strategy, establishing client working group, etc. So in the file that we will share with you, you will have the BIM roadmap as interactive PDF file, so where you can click on any of these tasks to get more information about it. And our webinar today is actually part of the capability and capacity development where we have been formed during this project, the Building Smart chapter, and we are trying to focus in the next stage on the e-training and on the certification of individuals and company to raise BIM awareness and upskilling the supply chain workers. The last pillar is coordination and outreach is about branding and having a different specialized group of professionals and having reaching out through social media and so on. So this is the first output of the project. This is again the BIM roadmap, but I think here is more readable. And as we see, a lot of task has been already done for the first phase of the BIM roadmap for 2020 until 2021, and the roadmap finish at the end of 2023. The second output of the project is the BIM standard for building permit. So we focused on this project on the phase where the designer will submit the design for getting the building permit and also for following the construction phase and reporting any issues and using, for example, virtual reality for inspections. The BIM standard will be distributed in form of a document, PDF document with the guidelines and general theoretical concept. And the level of information need matrix, which specify the information requirement, will be distributed in different form as Excel files. For example, we will have the model element matrix and the LOD and LOG, or what is called now in the new ISO level of information need matrix. And for different common softwares like Autodesk, Revit, and Bentley and ArchiCAD, we will distribute a PIM template which help the consultant and contractor to start using this BIM standard with predefined views and shared parameters and so on. So this I will share also at the end of the presentation a link to download some of these templates. The third output of the project is the software or the platform, which will completed now and ready for evaluation and testing. The BIM platform, Dubai BIM platform, is accessible under the domain bim.geodubai.ae, and we welcome any registered consultant or contractor or professionals who are working in United Arab Emirates or Dubai specifically, or to join the force and to join the movement and to register in this platform and to work with us to make it more practical and improve it. One of the deliveries in this project, as I mentioned, also the integration between BIM and GIS. So here I show, for example, how we can use GIS with BIM to check the setbacks of the building and how a BIM model can be converted from IFC model in open format to a 3D building GIS model. And the information of the building will be available in the GIS center in Dubai municipality, so we can in the future build the digital twin of Dubai and provide more services or smart services to all government and private sector authorities. I will show in the next slide some screenshot of the platform just that you have an idea, and we will share also a manual for the end users so you can look in details how can use the platform. And in the next stage we will ask you to register your interest so we can share with you also recorded material for the workshop and the training so you can follow the process of creating a project and checking some building regulations step by step from A to Z. So here, for example, we see a certain project has been created on the platform and an architectural model has been uploaded. In the upper side, you will see direct access to the online viewer, to assigning rules to this model, extracting information, convert it to BIM to GIS. So I will not go into so further details. So just to give you an idea, the platform has an online viewer, so no need to install any local tools. And this online viewer offer a lot of options for the consultant and for the business users like building permit engineer and inspection engineer to explore and navigate through this model by filtering or hiding some element or making a kind of cross sections to take dimensions to create issues and also to run the compliance check inside the viewer. So for example, for this villa, we have assigned a set of rules which can be checked automatically by the platform, and so the user, either the consultant himself or the building permit authorities staff, can check which rules they are interested in and then to run the compliance check. And we got the result in form of passing or failed, the number of passed or failed element for each of these rules according to the applicability of these rules, of course, on which kind of classes. And here we see, for example, that some stairs are failed to satisfy the stair riser height. So as we see, the result is an interactive, and this result can be exported as a report in Excel file, like comma separated values, or better, they can export it as one file as a BIM collaboration format, so the designer can go back to Revit or ArchiCAD or Bentley or any software which support BIM collaboration format and open his design file and follow up with the problems and fix them and re-upload the model again to the platform. This is also a screenshot shows that any element can be selected in the model. We can get a list of all attributes inside that model, and the internal users of Dubai municipality or the contractor even have the possibility during the construction site to update the model with further information, for example, to represent the construction progress, or they can use the online viewer to create any issue, for example, request for information or following up some problem regarding safety or whatever. So the platform has a kind of issue management module where the consultant and contractor can communicate in easy way with the building permit internal staff. This is just an example for the automated code compliance checking engine. It has been developed in an open way, so it can be extended by adding rules in the future or improving it or customize it. We adopted in our project the new coming unified Dubai Code building code, which will harmonize and unify all building regulation among all building authorities in Dubai. So we don't focus only on Dubai municipality rules or Tarakhis rules. At the end, Dubai building code will harmonize and unify all of them. So on the left side, we see the main categories of Dubai building code, and on the right side, we see example of these rules. And what is nice about these rules and this checking engine that it is, as I said, extendable, and with some training, the advanced user or building permit engineer can themselves customize or add more rules. So this is an example for this is, for example, a rule for checking the parking bay dimensions inside the model. So as we see here, we specify what is the class which we are looking for or the object type, and then we specify some rules and some condition related to the attribute of these rules. Of course, there are other type of rules which are related to geometry or ratio rules or advanced rules like SQL, but this is just an attribute rule as an example. So this is in general a quick overview about the objective of the project and the status of the output, and a very quick uh, uh, reviewing of the platform. Now, if you are interested to uh, to download the BIM roadmap, I will try to keep every slide few seconds. So please take scan the QR to download the interactive BIM roadmap as PDF file, either through the QR or through writing down the URL down. So this is the first delivery. The second shareable deliveries of the project are the BIM standard as a PDF file, and also the BIM e-submission user manual for public user. So please again try to scan the QR codes or to write down the link. This is also a QR and link for downloading the Revit template. ArchiCAD and Bentley template, they are also almost ready. If you write me as a message or email, I will share with you the ArchiCAD and Bentley template as well. But this QR code at moment only for Revit. And for Revit, as we see here, we have not only the template itself, we have the shared parameter files, and we have the IFC parameter mapping file, we have a user-defined property set, and we have a short document for using the template of Revit, and we will have the same for all other two common software, Bentley and ArchiCAD as well. We are now preparing the training workshop, has been recorded. We have just to make some editing and make them available for public user. So please, if you are interested even more, not only to see to have the public user manual, please also register your interest either through this QR link or by going to BuildingSMART UAE.ae, and then you click on community, and there is a link when you click on join, so you can register your interest and you can write there something like what you would like to contribute in the Building Smart chapter, and uh, or also ask us for to sharing the video material and we will send it to you. So this is in general what I prepared for today about the project. I would like also maybe to add to the presentation at the beginning some ideas how you can contribute the Building Smart chapter. So one of the ideas what we have like that you can contribute as speakers. So if we have with us for sure we have a lot of professionals with a lot of knowledge and expertise. So if you believe that you can deliver any webinar with focus on open BIM or with focus on BIM raising awareness or maybe sharing some success stories about BIM, some studies in your company like return of invest, or if you would like to share with us, for example, a contribution through a blog or writing a professional post about applying BIM in your company. So all of these kind of contribution are highly welcomed. And at the end, we are only the management team of the Building Smart chapter, but what our goal at the end is to build a community. So without a real contribution and motivation from all persons and professionals, of course, we cannot succeed. You can also, after reviewing the BIM standard, contribute by developing the BIM standard by sending us feedback, or we are going in the future to form a special group for further development of the rules, for further development of the BIM standard itself and the level of information matrices and so on. So doors are open, all contribution are welcome. And of course, we are also interested to have a few consultants from registered who are registered in Dubai for testing the platform. So please contact us directly or simply register yourself on the bim.geodubai.ae, the platform which I shared before, and we will contact you and we will activate your users, and then we can even offer you a kind of a free training to work together. Things are coming in the future. So as you see, Dubai municipality has a plan for BIM mandate. We don't know exactly when it will be applied, but not after a very long time, maybe starting from the next year. So I think we should prepare ourselves from our side. We are developing the BIM standard, the platform, and we hope that the supply chain also will follow. With this, I prefer to finish the presentation to give you time for asking a question or saying any feedback or comment. Uh,
Dr. Ali,
yes,
sorry to interrupt. We have we would like, people are asking that if you can please share all the links from your presentations.
yes, no problem. We will share them. We will, as I
Thank you.
said, please write your email, especially people who are joining through social media. Write your email in the chat, so we will be sure that we will send you the presentation material, which include all links. So,
And also for the questions, I will record all the questions.
okay, no problem. So I am ready to take a question. Me and Anna, we are ready to take question. I don't know, Anna, you can moderate accepting the question and by raising hand or by reading the chat. I believe we still have like 15-minute time at least for questions. Or any person who would like to go on the mic also, no problem, of course.
Yes, because now we are receiving all the emails. If anyone has a question, just please ask through the microphone.
Good morning, everyone. So this is Nair Durgate from AHC. There's a bit of echo. Can Ali, could you please mute the mic? Yeah, thank you. All right. So my question here is regarding the BIM system application or the way we're going to be submitting BIM in the future. So in the roadmap, the target will be in 2023, all deliverable or to get a permit from the BIM municipality, we have to submit BIM on the system or on the platform. Is that going to be applied for all projects or for a certain type of projects?
Um, So I'm sharing here again the BIM roadmap. Of course, the plan not to start accepting BIM model at the end of the BIM roadmap. This BIM roadmap include a lot of tasks to move to the to reach the digital twin and to reach using a lot of advanced technologies. But the BIM mandate will be started with the current BIM mandate, which is now at least for Dubai municipality, this mandate since 2013 and with the appendixes on 2015. These 20 floors building and all project like government, schools. So the BIM mandate is still active, but at some point, maybe starting from the next year, we will enforce it not only as a recommendation, but it will be as an obligation, the BIM mandate. And as we see in the BIM roadmap, there will be like 2020 mandate and then 2021 mandate and moving to 2023. So the BIM mandate will be applied for sure as a step by step, gradually, maybe with optional phase at the beginning. So there is no, at the moment, there's no details about the BIM mandate because we would like to check and to verify the capability and the readiness for the supply chain. And we would like also from our side to check that the BIM standard and the BIM template and the BIM platform are working as expected and also to extend the number of rules. So as I said, there are plans we are developing now, with, of course, with building permit authorities, the business users, what is the best way to go with the BIM mandate. So I hope this answer your question.
Yeah, that's actually quite good because my again as a main contractor, one of my concerns is um, you have a complete supply chain, all right, with all the subs and suppliers and all that. Once we have a clear mandate from the municipality that says you have to deliver this, and with the clear standards, it's going to make it easier for us to actually manage the whole supply chain in the project. So that's actually a great start, and yeah, looking forward to completing this. All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Do we have another question on the chat, Anna?
No, we don't have any other question for now. Yes, we have a question here. Let's please, Najaf.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So this is Najaf Ali, I'm structural engineer from Al Kafi Consultants. I have worked with BIM in the past. I have actually worked in developing BIM, and I wanted to ask you, uh, in order to develop this BIM and implement it for the whole industry in Dubai, one of the key technical part is to develop a data dictionary. I wanted to ask you how far along are we in developing this data dictionary for architecture, structure, and MEP, and and I saw some of the parts were in IFC, so I wanted to ask you for the buildings. Is this data dictionary a subset of IFC? How much of it has been implemented and actually defined? One other question was, is this only for buildings or is it only for RCC buildings, or does it also include steel structures as well? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. So can just you clarify what do you mean with data dictionaries? Because maybe the term is for me like I'm not sure. What do you mean?
Right. Right, back in 2014, when I was developing a data dictionary for bridges, I was working closely with Bentley myself. So what we were doing is data dictionary is a subset of all the properties and characteristics of each and every, for example, member sizes, its properties and all. So that data dictionary contains all the properties of the members and all the elements involved in a structure. So, for example, if we were converting, if we were converting exporting one file from one software to another software, what happens is that in the new software, both the software has its own data dictionaries. They need to be able to read one another through a translator. So there's also a question of translator. Does the municipality is are they trying to develop
Okay,
their own
I see
translator
what you
of,
mean. Okay, thank you.
yeah, yeah.
Actually, maybe data dictionary a little bit, maybe specific term for Bentley. Actually, what we are working here is we are following the ISO terminology, and we follow the term level of information need. So we are defining different matrices. For example, I can, as you see on my screen, I hope you still see my screen. So we have, for example, different attribute defined on the level of classes. So for different kind of classes, we have a kind of matrix which define which attribute are obligatory for that class, for doors, for floors, etc. At the same time, we are following or building a kind of name convention for the objects. And we have also in the BIM standard, we are adopting at moment the unique class classification system. So we can have, for example, a unified classification for the space type, space uses, etc. And in the future, we can also support omni-class or any classification. And in the BIM standard, we also have a kind of mapping between the model element or category, for example, in Revit, to the IFC class. And in the BIM template for ArchiCAD and for Bentley, you will see a kind of a predefined or a kind of configuration files which tell the software how to map the internal element category from Bentley or ArchiCAD to the correct IFC class. So yes, all of this is included in the BIM standard and so on. Just what was the next question, the next part of your question, second part?
The second part was, is it only for RCC now, and are you trying to do it for the steel structures as well?
Well, we don't develop it only for concrete structures. Our focus is building in general. Unfortunately, in this project, we didn't consider TICLA structure to provide a template for it, but any software which support IFC can be a part of the modeling. And if you follow the BIM standard and the level of information need, so you are free to submit even a steel structure. But the question if the steel structure will be a part of the BIM mandate soon or it will be scheduled for a later stage, this will be defined in the BIM mandate, the official BIM mandate later. And the platform itself, it support steel structure or any kind of building. We don't focus at moment on infrastructure, so we don't focus on bridge or street and tunnels, etc. We focus in general on building. Do we have further questions?
Yes, Dr. Ali. So we have few questions in the text box. I will start with the first one. When will Dubai municipality, Turkeys, and DD regulations be aligned?
With the BIM standard, we already aligned. What is nice about this project that this project is funded by the Dubai Building Permit Development Committee. So the BIM standard is aligned, the database for rules are aligned and unified, and the BIM roadmap developed together between all these authorities. And as I said, there is this strategic project from the same committee for Dubai Building Code. I think they already almost finished the final version, so I'm not sure at which time they will announce it or it will be adopted. My personal expectation from the next year, the new BIM, the unified BIM standard will be published, And we hope after this testing phase, like 6 months, that the platform and the BIM template and the BIM platform will be also ready for production and for that we can start accepting the submission of BIM model. But as I said, this is estimation, not officially a fixed date.
Thank you, Dr. Ali. The next one, we have a request here. Can you please share the Appendix E, object naming categorization?
Do you mean the Excel files? Or again, please, Anna?
I'm not sure. It's just, can you please share the Appendix E, object naming categorization?
Okay, I will share it. I can share it, no problem.
Okay. Next question. Someone would like to know if the platform will be alternative for BIM 360 and ACC.
No, it's not. We are not trying to produce any similar platform to any commercial. We are focusing on our business. So the platform main goal actually to support the building permit application, but it's not about
Dr. Ali,
supporting
there is an
design teams.
echo now.
I think somebody is has the micro not muted. Can you hear me now better?
Yes, thank you. It's much better.
Thank you for the person who muted the mic. So no, it's not a replacement for any BIM 360 or any cloud-based common data environment. We focus only at the submission of the BIM model for the building permit authorities. So we don't support, for example, a collaborative design and so on.
Okay, the next question is that you mentioned it will be considering Dubai Code regulation. What about developer requirements or regulations?
Well, I think the platform is generic. If these developers, at the end, I believe they have also to get the permit of building permit authorities. But if they have a special requirement, and this requirement can be expressed in form of rules, so the platform support adding developer specific requirement or QA and QC rules in the database. What is nice about this platform that we build it from scratch. We are not using any commercial software, so we build the database and the automated code compliance check engine with an open source and open structure with modules and so on. So if the developer have a specific requirement which can be expressed as rules, we can support them as well.
Thank you, Dr. Ali. The next question is there any coordination with other municipalities in the UAE to unify the BIM adaptation across all Emirates?
We hope that the buildingSMART UAE chapter will be a kind of umbrella or a kind of a central place to guide or to lead such movement. And I believe soon we will have also a kind of federal standard for smart building. Uh, so I see in the future, I hope in the future that we will see this kind of harmonization. And of course, all municipalities in Emirat, they have a good relationship. They exchange knowledge and expertise. So I believe, yes, I hope that at the end that we will have a federal. And in our BIM roadmap, if we look back to the BIM roadmap, we see here that we help me to find it that we are trying to have at the end a kind of national annex for the ISO. So we are doing here an alignment with the ISO, and at somewhere we are trying to create a national annex for the ISO 19650, and then it will be, of course, applicable in the whole of Arab Emirate if we succeed with this BIM roadmap.
Thank you, Dr. Ali. Also, Mr. Abbas asked if he can have a question. Mr. Abbas, please, if you have a question, write it down, or you can just take the microphone now.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hello, Ali. Actually, I have a question regarding when we are planning to implement the BIM in infrastructure. Is there any roadmap for that one as well, for infrastructure project?
In Dubai municipality and in the other building permit authorities, actually the focus on building, but at the same time, the international standard for infrastructure like IFC road, IFC tunnel, IFC bridge, which are developed under the umbrella of buildingSMART International, the mother organization of our chapter, are evolving very quickly, and we are expecting to have the IFC 5, the next version of IFC soon, which will support infrastructure. And I am sure that RTA and other ministry or authorities who are interested in infrastructure will work together to develop it. And by the way, the chapter, the UAE chapter, is not only hosted and managed by Dubai municipality. We have on board almost all government authorities like RTA, DIWA, Civil Defense, Land Department. And maybe something also important to mention that we have developed or formed a special group called Digital Transformation, Dubai Digital Transformation Group, which has also representatives from all government authorities. So under the buildingSMART chapter umbrella and this digital transformation group, we hope to form soon a specialized group to take care, for example, about infrastructure or digital twin or facility management or whatever. So I hope that there will be some project or initiative to support BIM in infrastructure. But personally, I am not aware about any similar now project which is developing. And the leader in this domain in Dubai, at least they are RTA. They already, I think, they have their BIM roadmap a few years ago published, and they have also special training and standard for their subcontractor and the supply chain. So if your company working with infrastructure project, I think you can contact RTA. And as I said, we have by buildingSMART also representatives from RTA, so we can also get in touch with us, and we will connect you with the right person to answer this question.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ali. Have a good day.
Thank you. The next question is that will this technology can be used for other Dubai government bodies like DIWA submission?
Yes, the answer, the platform support the NOC authorities. This means uh, any NOC authority like DIWA or RTA or Civil Defense, they can look to the platform, they can access the BIM model, and they can add their own rules in the database for automated code checking. And during the process of getting the approval, the NOC can also reject or approve the BIM model according to their requirement. So at the end, this platform will support NOCs to be involved in the permit submission. At moment, I have also to say that the platform work as a standalone for testing and evaluation, but in the future, the BIM platform will be integrated with the main building permit systems of building authorities, and it will be like a module or a part of it. That's why maybe we are going now on the test phase for the platform as a standalone. At the same time, we are working to integrate it with the current system.
Thank you, Dr. Ali. Also, we have more questions, and also some of the participants are raising the hand, so I will just go with one by one. Can please the nickname FAM Holding ask the question?
Yes, Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Ali. This is Engineer Bilal from FAM Holding LLC. I would like to thank you for this beautiful and presentation. It's really give us يعني like it's give us a lot of it's very impressed. So I have question regarding Mrs. Anazih mentioned very important point about translation regarding or participate in the translation regarding the IFC or the standards. What you mean by translation or participate in Arabic webinars? Something similar, you mentioned this one. And Azia, I think she told that we have some translation.
Well, actually, in all chapter of Building Smart, they try to focus on the locality. So it's not only about translation, the standard itself, but it's about providing content in the local language. So today our webinar in English, maybe next week we will have, for example, a webinar in Arabic. Our platform, for example, has supporting Arabic and English. So maybe we will build some kind of dictionary for unifying engineering terms and so on. And the BIM roadmap as well is provided in our project in Arabic and English. So we will try to keep a balance between English and Arabic. And at the same time, when we talk not about the language itself, if we think, for example, about classification system of uses of spaces, so maybe the Uniclass from UK or OmniClass, they don't include maybe some special rooms like majlis or masjid or
Yeah.
such things. So we mean here that we would like to contribute as a Arabic local chapter in contributing to the classification system, to the terminology, to provide learning material in the local language and so on. So this is what I think.
Doctor, the BIM dictionary as a reference, or do we have any other
Yes,
resources?
we can use it. I think it's very famous now and it's open and maybe we will invite people to join the team of Arabic translation of the BIM Excellence movement and the BIM dictionary. Yes, we can use it. Why not? We
Yeah.
don't have to
Thank you.
reinvent the wheel for sure.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It's clear. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you. We have another question from Mr. Mahmoud.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Dr. Ali, thank you for the presentation. I have a quick question. As we know that the roadmap, part of the roadmap to get the GIS, BIM GIS, but I have a question regarding the existing building in Dubai. Is there any plan or a new project, might be after the finish this project, to implement the existing building in the GIS in order to achieve I think one of the goals of BIM to achieve the digital map of Dubai. Is there any plan or new project in this regard?
Maybe I'm not the most expert GIS to answer this question. We have, I think, if Engineer Muhammad Hamoud would like to jump in and answer, you are welcome. But of course, in the GIS Center, we have a lot of initiative and project to use technologies like drones and laser scan and mobile devices or scanning through the GIS cubited special car and so on. So we are trying to cover as much as part of Dubai to move from the as-built to the laser scan, point cloud, and to use new technologies. And but this has nothing to do with the building permit. So in our project, as you know, Engineer Mahmoud, we focus on the building permit and so on. And in the GIS Center, we are working on finding the best technology for indoor and outdoor navigation and the best tools for as built to BIM model. Um, but it is a huge work. We have a few hundred or millions of
Yes,
apartment or
yes, of
building.
course.
So of course this will take time, and I think this is a general problem in the whole world, not only in Dubai. How
Mm.
to digitize the whole city is a kind of a mega task, and you should also make a balance for the return of invest. What is the cost? What are the benefits? So at least now, when we adopt BIM for the new building, and we start maybe with digitizing the government or public building, and moving slowly to having the whole digital twin of the city. So I believe in few years we can achieve this. I don't know if Engineer Muhammad would you like to join me and to further explanation the plans, or we keep the webinar focus on the
Yeah,
BIM
thank
platform.
you, Doctor. I think you covered all the information. The optimum goal for the GIS Center in Dubai Municipality is to create and provide a digital twin for the city. So each feature or asset or building or structure in the reality, we are planning to make a digital copy of it in our digital twin. So this digital twin can be used in providing smart services. So BIM is one of methodology that will feed this digital twin database. But there are other technologies like for existing buildings, we have the laser scanners, we have the available CAD drawing, can convert them to GIS format in 3D. So yes, the plan is there, but as the doctor said, it will need some time and effort to be done. So if you have any ideas, if you have any services to provide in this regard, please register your interest using the link provided by Dr. Ali and let us know your suggestion or information or comments. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Mohammed, and thank you, Dr. Ali. The next question is, can the platform be integrated with other 3D party collaboration software?
The platform has API, but the scope of the API at the moment to integrate it with with other building permit system or with reporting tools and so on. If there is an added value for integrating the platform with other tools, we will look at these. Maybe one of these, maybe to have a kind of custom plugins for automated checking, as maybe some person asked about developers or having any kind of further services. At the moment, the scope of the API cover only the basic integration. Maybe in the future, why not? So if you have any idea, please share it with us and we will try to consider it in the next stage of the development.
Thank you, Dr. Ali. The next question is, will this planned national annex also address infrastructure or only building?
I think I'm trying to start to repeat myself here. We focus on the building at the moment, and I think at the end, if we look at the BIM standard, we already have, we will have soon the national BIM standard for smart building or smart construction, and then through the contribution or evolving of the buildingSMART chapter UAE, we hope that we will have representatives in the technical rooms of the buildingSMART where we can contribute and exchange knowledge with the IFC road, IFC bridge, IFC tunnel. And of course, we are looking forward to have a unified federal or national annex for ISO, which include infrastructure and BIM for building at the same time. But this we have to wait to see how the how is the contribution and how is the evolvement and how we can really build a community. So if we have with us today any professionals or consultant who are focusing on infrastructure, we invite you all to register your interest so we can form a special working group for infrastructure, and then we can take the BIM standard for building as a start or as a seed, and we try to extend it for infrastructure. And as I said, we have with us RTA. We are looking also to have an contribution or involvement from big construction and consultant company to join the chapter. So why not? If we build a community and we had then maybe funding or plan, so we can do it, hopefully.
Okay, we have last two questions, but I think that you might answer it also for these two questions, but just let me read it for. Is the GIS coordination going to include the infrastructure?
I don't know what is GIS coordination means here.
Okay. The person, please, Mr. Georgie, can you please elaborate on this more? And the last question is, the platform is primarily for Dubai industry. Will the platform support other countries' industry in the future?
Good afternoon. Almost. My question was regarding the integration with the GIS. Will it be also included with the infrastructure data? But I do think that the previous questions regarding the infrastructure have given the answer to that question already.
Maybe I can explain here something, Mr. Jordi, that
Yes.
we will take the design of the BIM model, the permitted design, and we will integrate it with the GIS database. The GIS database already have the infrastructure. So in the GIS center, we
Yes.
already have all information for the substations and roads and the bridges and so on. And what is nice in our platform, when you look at the manual which we shared with you, that
Hmm.
we have a service called GIS to BIM. So for you as an engineer or consultant, when you start with the designing of a new project, you will have the option to download the GIS data in CAD format. So we are supporting
Excellent.
now DXF and we are supporting IFC, simplified geometry, of course. So the
Of course.
consultant, he enter the parcel ID and then we provide him a subset of GIS data in this engineering format with geolocated and correct reference geometry. So he know exactly what are the surrounding building, where are the substation, the drainage, and so on. So we have also GIS to BIM service in the platform.
Excellent. Thank you so very much.
You are welcome.
Thank you. And we had one more. We saw a glimpse of architectural checking part in the viewer. Has the structural checking part been developed yet? If not, how can I contribute to it?
Well, the structural checking is also included in the platform. Maybe I can share quickly some of the rules which are, but we are not checking, for example, for structural analysis, we are not checking at moment the structural analysis itself. So we don't check, for example, how to say the transfer of loads between different elements, or we are not checking the result of the structural analysis itself. But if there are any rules which are related to the dimension of structural elements. So, for example, if we look at columns, so we have, or if we see here, for example, that we have a rule for checking the minimum width of column, or we have, for example, another rule to check the minimum concrete strength for structural columns, so or elements, and so on. So the rules and the database is not only limited to the architect. As we see here, we have different categories. So we have architect domain, accessibility domain, we have building involved domain, vertical transportation, and we have also structural rules. So at the end, if we look into the database, our current database, we will see that we have for architect and we have as well for building involved. So we have different categories. So the short answer here for structure, we support all of them, but of course, in the short term of the project, we cannot like automate all hundred or thousand of our rules. That's why we are looking for a contribution for a community. Everybody can, of course, contribute and can work with us to extend the rule database.
Thank you, Dr. Ali. And we just received many requests regarding the sharing the Excel files, please.
No problem. Just register your interest, or if you already write your email, we will download the attendees list and we will send you one email including the presentation and all links for shareable material.
Thank you, Dr. Ali. We didn't receive more questions so far.
We see some people, they have hand raised. BIM Road, I think Mr. Walid.
Yes, yes, how are you?
Yeah, Mr. Walid, right?
Yes, me, Walid
Okay,
Aliwa, yes.
I know from the company name. Okay, we welcome.
Thank you so much. That means we are very known. Yeah.
Yes,
Anyway,
of course.
I have a question. So you're going to evaluate what you're going to receive, what I understood from the last couple of questions, what you're going to evaluate for the data you receive. You will going to evaluate the geometry of some information regarding, as example, the structure you mentioned, but you will not go through the design rules for something or design uh, codes for the other disciplines, like such as architecture or something like that. Am I understand well?
Not completely, but also not completely wrong. So we are trying to look at the building regulation, which is usually now done manually by the engineers. They check, for example, minimum dimensions. They check existing or not existing of special tools. They check sometimes dimension of element, number of stairs, and they check, as you know, the process of checking all building calculation are very complex. Some of them can be automated, where you have digital information, and some of them they need sense of engineering or sense of architect, which are related to the culture, they are related to the appearance, they are related to other complex rules. For example, if you look at civil defense rules, some of them are easy to be checked, and some of them are very difficult to be checked. So we are starting now with low fruit, as they say, what is easy to be done and which save a lot of manual work. But I mean, at the current stage of the project, we are not trying, for example, to check the MAB, for example, electricity load or air conditions load, or we are not trying to check the correctness of the structural analysis result as a finite element, or like using special tools like ETABS or SAP and so on. So this will be still the responsibility of experts in the building permit authorities to check the result of analysis. We are trying to focus on checking the building regulation, which are related to, as I said, dimension, permitted use of spaces, number of parking lots in the building, number of lift, number of garbage bins, etc. So we are trying to help the building permit authorities to automate as much as possible, so they can focus on the rules which are more complex or need sense of engineering and so on. And in the future, we
that's
plan,
logic.
of course, we plan of course, in the future to use more how to say, complex or advanced algorithm, for example, to analyze the topology of the building, and for example, to extract automatically the egress ways and so on. But we have to be like realistic and start with what is easy and has more added value toward what is very complex and used in special cases.
But because you can do this now, by the way, you can do this to make model validation and design validation. It's existing. It's achievable. You can do this now, but it depends on your decision. So now what you're going to summarize what you said, that you're gonna check the geometrical information, not checking non-geometrical information.
Not only we are checking also, as we said, in alphanumerical information and geometrical information and dimension. We can check also a relationship between objects like intersect, close to, and so on. Maybe when you look at the document and the type of rules which can be added, you will have better understanding what we can check at moment.
Great. That's great.
Okay.
That's great on logic.
So do we have further
I
questions? Yes,
first.
Nayar?
Yes, please. Yeah, thank you. Regarding, because partially my question has been answered already, regarding the GIS conversion, you've already mentioned that it can be downloaded as a DXF file and a DWG, correct?
Yes, correct.
Is there an option to also, or is there any plans in the future? Maybe you can download also the GU database as a GDP file, maybe in the future,
The database of
or that's
GDP as GIS database, you mean?
exactly as a GIS database, exactly, instead of just as a 2D drawing.
Well, I think technically should be possible. Technically, this should be possible. In Dubai municipality, at moment we are using Esri product, and if it's possible technically to extract the information as a database, and we see the value for this or why we have to do this. So technically, yes. But at moment for our platform, we are supporting this download GIS to BIM, and we are supporting converting BIM to GIS. So this is the current integration, and we have, of course, the integration with the
And with
GIS.
the GIS,
We see here that we integrate the building location with GIS. So we have a few integration. If you think that this is important for you, so please take contact with us, and we will consider your requests for the future.
very good. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Do we have further question before we close up?
Dr. Ali, someone was asking in the chat if this bim.geodubai.ae is this website working?
Yes, it should be working, I think so.
आवाज जानी पहचानी नहीं लग रही है. Yes, I think I will do it tomorrow, inshallah. तुम्हारे कट.
It is working, yes. And here everybody who is interested who can register, so there is a register link. And please, when you register, don't use super admin or BIM supervisor. These rules are only for the business user. Don't use also inspection engineer or permit engineer. For the supply chain, you have to choose either consultant or contractor. Just that we can activate your account without a problem. So if you are consultant, please consultant. If you are contractor, choose contractor. And after you fill up this information, we will activate your account and we'll get in touch with people who will register to see if we can arrange for them later a workshop or training and that they can help by sharing some BIM models or sharing feedback about the platform.
Okay. Dr. Ali, we received so many comments that this website is not working. What do you think? What can be the problem?
Well, as you see, it's working by me. I'm just maybe just be sure BIM. So I will share the URL on. Maybe it's a little bit slow because it's a test server. So maybe some people have a problem. So I'm sharing here the link. So please check if it works or not. Maybe they forgot to put HTTPS, so it is a secure protocol should be activated.
Yes, it works now. Thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions you have?
Okay, great. So we plan maybe in 2 weeks to have the next webinar. We already received from a few people some suggestions for to be as a speaker. Again, if we have any professional with us who would like to join as a speaker in the future, register your interest and send us your CV and a list of topic which you would like to cover. Of course, taking into account that we focus on open BIM and not in a specific commercial software. And we hope that this series of online webinar will help us to understand your need and will help us to build a community. And please share, spread the word. So if you have any friends, colleagues, or any company you know that maybe will get benefit from such webinar and from joining the Building Smart chapter, please share with them the website and let them join us.
Thank you, Dr. Ali. Also, just someone mentioned here that made a mistake and
No
registered
problem.
as a
No,
super
no,
admin
no,
by
no, no
mistake.
problem. No problem. I will take care of this.
Thank you so much for everyone for attending the webinar. If you have any question, just please write us an email.
Thank you.
Yasser Naveed.
Hello.
So we have some background music. This is nice to have to finish the webinar.
I think 12:30 था और मैंने 1:30 किया.
Anna, your mic is muted.
Yes. I'm just waiting if anyone has any more question or
I think we are
we
beyond
can
the
do
time,
anything.
so we have to close. Would you like to close up, Anna, or should I do this to wrap up the meeting?
1 minute, Dr. Ali. We received here a question. BIM template QR code is the same for BIM e-submission user manual?
No,
Could
they
you
are.
share the correct for BIM template?
We will share. I will check all link and we share them with you. No problem. But for sure they are different, so if you can scan them again, they should work. So thank you very much for joining the webinar today. We hope to keep in touch and to hear from you. And as I said, we plan maybe every month to have 2 webinars. So we will contact all people who share their email with us regarding the next webinar. I wish all of you to have a nice day and thanks again. Bye bye.
यार मुझे 1.5